Hey, good evening, everybody. So it is March 5th, Thursday evening. We just had here in Michigan our annual forage conference that the Michigan Forage Council holds. We had it up at the Agro Liquid World Headquarters in St. John's, Michigan. And one of our speakers today was Dr. Jeff Andreessen. He's from Michigan State University Department of Geological Sciences. And he came in and gave us a synopsis of past and current weather conditions and so forth, and a little bit of what his prediction is for the future. Let me straighten this camera out here. Okay. And so basically, a little review of 2019, and this is for the lower and upper Great Lakes, the Midwest region, and I'm going to assume for New England too, based on what we were looking at for jet stream pattern and so forth. But right now, in the top 3.5 feet of soil in a lot of the Great Lakes region, and Michigan in particular, we have 99% soil saturation starting from last October right up in through February and currently. And I've got some notes here I'm going over. We had the fourth wettest spring in 2019 on record. We had the second wettest fall. 50% of the moisture for the whole year, I think, well, let's see here, late summer. We had, he's saying in the last 30 to 40 years now, we have had a trend that is becoming more wet. So, if that's, get ready for more wet weather is basically what he's saying. Our average temperature annually has risen by about 2 degrees in the last 100 years. And what he used the term shoulder season. So like your last frost in the spring and your first frost in the fall, they've been delayed. You get your last frost in the spring is a little bit earlier in the year, and your first frost in the fall is a little bit later, 1 to 2 weeks later. So he's saying our growing season, we've in the last 50 years, has kind of increased about 2 weeks almost in this region of the country. And 2019 was officially the wettest year on record. In Michigan, we averaged 41.59 inches. And since 2011, we've had 4 out of the 5 wettest years on record. The whole Midwest for the last 3 years has been wetter. We had a new 24-hour record for the wettest 24 hours in Michigan of 12.95 inches in 24 hours. Some of the areas were measuring 1 to 3 inches per hour, and that was in Fountain, Michigan, in Mecosta County, kind of over northwest part of the Lower Peninsula area. Our average 100-year rain event now is gone from being around 4.5 inches in a day to now 5.48 inches. So that's climbed to be what's considered it's increased to be what's considered a 100-year rain event. The jet stream pattern, so we have a split pattern here, as he explained. We have a northern jet stream and a southern stream. The northern stream, where it looks like it's going to be for most, or if not all, of 2020, is going to stay far enough to the north to keep a lot of polar or cold air coming south. And a lot of the warm air we're going to be getting is going to be from the South Pacific coming across the continent, and also a lot of Gulf Stream moisture. So we're gonna have a lot of storm tracks from the south, which would give us kind of a prediction of a wetter than average year and a little bit more mild or warmer temperatures, which could lead to increased humidity. So for any of the hay farmers, you know, we're slowly climbing an average humidity during the summer, daytime humidity, and we're getting more rainy days and more rainy days with heavy rain. And that's going to make it a little bit harder to, it's going to make it harder for everybody right now with 99% soil moisture and coming into the spring. If we're going to continue to have a wet spring, it's not going to look good. We've got about 1/2 the normal ice cover that we should, and the Great Lakes and inland lakes as well, which is going to make the temperatures warm faster, according to the meteorologist. And so March through May, probably above normal temps, which would be good. We could get in the field, get some of that field work we need to do. And even, you know, the row crop guys are going to be in the same boat as a lot of us hay producers wanting to get in doing some spring tillage. So at least for the first half of the growing season, you know, he's saying, yeah, wetter than normal. And I'm looking down because I took some quick notes. I thought this was good information for everybody. So the thought is perennial crops like our grass, sod, or hay crops might come out of dormancy earlier. Your winter annuals, winter wheat, whatever you planted last fall that need to go through fall vernalization, they'll probably come out of dormancy a little bit earlier as well. So basically, yeah, if you guys are looking, we're probably could be looking for a repeat of 2019. Hay prices sure aren't going to go down. Probably going to be right where we were previously, starting last year. Plan on a delayed first hay harvest. What was interesting in Michigan here, we had, even though we had all that rain coming up into June, and we're still pretty wet into July, August we had a really short-lived drought. So August and September were pretty dry, and it still affected crop growth. And then in October, again, it was relentless, you know, 7-8 inches in that month. You know, each month usually is about 3 inches of water in the Great Lakes area, at least here in Michigan. So yeah, it could be somber news, especially for the row crop people out there that had a horrible 2019. You know, some of us hay producers, we were able to recover a little bit if you weren't in one of those areas that got summer drought and your second cutting got hit, which that kind of happened to me a bit. But, you know, we had that cool, wet spring, so maturities of the plants were behind 2 to 3 weeks. So we had that delayed harvest, but we didn't have a lot of as much poor first quality hay as what I thought we were going to have. And but we had increased yields because we had a wet first part of the growing season, as compared to the previous 2 to 3 growing seasons were quite dry, and we had some late frost that killed a lot of the grass growth, or, you know, stunted it back. These cool season grasses like orchard grass, they'll get up, you know, 8-10 inches. You get a good frost, 20 degrees, 16-18 degrees at night. You know, in mid-May, you just lost 50% of your grass production on your first cutting hay. So we, in a way, had one of the best first cutting harvests that we've had in years. However, we've had such horrible first cutting harvest for the first 3 to 4 years before that, just putting it in perspective. But at any rate, thoughts, comments, let me know. Hay prices are still good here in Michigan. Apparently, though, there's a lot of low quality first cutting hay hitting the market now. Everybody wants to clear out their barns, get rid of those round bales that are along the fence row. But a lot of that's in the northern part of the state, the low populated regions where there's not a lot of high hay demand. Down here in the southern part of the state where there's that strong horse market, you know, there's no hay in this area, and you gotta pay to get it trucked in from up north. So, all right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Talk to you later.